G'day, I'm Scott Phillips, and welcome to the Motley Fool's regular YouTube series we call What I've Been Reading. Yep, I come up with the imaginative titles. But what we are going to do, and what we do every week in this slot at this time, is share with you something that has been on our team's mind, something they've read. Sometimes a book, sometimes an article, sometimes a research paper. Basically, they're interesting and curious people. And when they find something interesting and they're curious about, they want to tell you about it. That's why we have this particular series. Today, I'm joined by Motley Fool analyst Mitch Lawler. Mitch, g'day.
How's it going, Scott?
Mate, very, very well, thank you. I'm looking forward to this conversation because this is a relatively new book, and I haven't yet read it. So I'm looking forward to your summary. You can tell me whether I should bother, or maybe I'll give it a miss. Let's find out. The worst part about doing this series is every week someone puts another book on my to-do list. I don't have the reading time. So my proverbial nightstand, my metaphorical nightstand is getting larger and larger in terms of piles of books on top of it. But let's see if this one goes to the top. It is What Everyone Knows That Everyone Knows. Both an intriguing and a confusing title by Steven Pinker, an author that most people hopefully have at least heard of. I'm going to handball it straight to you, Mitch. Tell us about the book. What does it tell us that we know that everyone else knows?
Yeah, I tell you, it's a very interesting book, and a lot of people probably are scratching their heads wondering, well, how in the world does this relate to investing? But I think what is important about it is the psychological rambunctions or ideas that sort of spring from it. And as we know, investing is partly art, partly science, and there's a lot of psychology as part of it. And so this book by Steven Pinker really delves into the idea of common knowledge. So we have what is private knowledge, which is you may know something, I know something, you may know that I know, but it's that next level of when everybody knows that everyone knows. And a good example of that is the Emperor's New Clothes. For people who've heard the folklore before, and so the emperor is sort of prancing around, not actually wearing anything at all because he believes it's an invisible sort of garment, and nobody in the crowd wants to say anything because they think that if they point it out, they're the fool. Until a small child, a little boy, blurts out, the emperor's not wearing any clothes, and everybody starts to laugh. So that point in which everyone then becomes aware that everyone else knows, that then makes it a common knowledge. And there are so many things within society that actually is built and is founded upon the elements of common knowledge, conventions, norms that allow us to go out and interact with the world without having to think too deeply about whether someone knows that I know, that they know, that I can transact in this piece of paper, that they'll accept it and that it'll be accepted somewhere else. That's a common knowledge that we've reached at this point in society. So with respect to investing, there's a lot of elements that you could really tie this back to, but I think there's a couple of key ones that I'd like to point out. And the first being moats within businesses. So a common knowledge, I suppose, one example on the ASX is REA Group, where that's become a convention where we know, or everyone knows, that buyers will list on realestate.com.au and sellers will list on there, and all the buyers know that the sellers list there, so that they go onto the platform as well. So it's this self-reinforcing cycle. And when you get that in a business, it's very hard to actually disrupt it. And so I think for long-term investors who are trying to beat the market, we should be looking for those common knowledges within businesses. Steven Pinker sort of paints that really well for us to understand. And secondly, I suppose, is the exuberance and panics that come of it too. So we all know of bank runs, a run on the bank where once it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy of everyone knows that everyone is concerned about the money not being there, so everyone goes and runs out and withdraws from the bank. So then you become the fool if you don't partake in that as well. And getting back to investing though is when we see this in bubbles as well, whether it's the dot-com bubble that we saw lead into 2000, or maybe it's AI. I won't say that AI is a bubble, but maybe it could be. where we start to see these detachments from fundamentals. And it's more of a case of people are investing based on what they think everyone else is investing in. And so I think that's a cautionary tale of Steven Pinker's, when everyone knows that everyone knows.
I like that, mate. Everyone knows that everything's good, and then everyone knows all of a sudden everything's bad, and that's how boom soon crashes. I suppose it's the bust that follows the boom. It's the change of sentiment, of perception. It's a really, really nice summary, a really nice point. I hesitate to ask you this, mate, but I imagine I've got to put it on my reading list. Do I? Is it worth reading? Is it something that our viewers should check out themselves?
I think so. I think particularly if you're interested in that psychological aspect of investing, maybe for more of an intermediate or experienced investor that's already gotten their heads around the fundamentals, but are still wanting to understand the dubious aspects of speculation and the pitfalls of it, and how we as humans, all of us, are susceptible to it because of the grounding of common knowledge within a functioning society.
I love that, mate. Modern society is all about stories, the stories we share, the stories we believe, and as you say, the things that we all know. So I'm looking forward to reading that book. I'm going to have to add it to my list. I will do that after we finish this video. Thanks for being with us. By the way, if you're watching this video and you're enjoying it, you probably know, but if you don't, we do what I've been reading every single week. We also do Motley Fool Stocks in Focus on YouTube once a week. Once a month, we do Stock of the Month. We have Motley Fool TV, lots of cool stuff on the YouTube channel. If you're liking what we're doing, I hope you are, because there's really smart people helping you understand the world of investing a little bit better. Do me and do yourselves a favor. Hit the like button for me. That means that this video gets shared more widely. That's how the algorithm works. But also, if you want more of it, the subscribe button and the notification bell below this video. You probably know the drill by now. If you subscribe and you hit the notification bell, YouTube will prompt you when we release more good content like this, 100% free on YouTube, by the way. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll enjoy plenty more. I hope you will subscribe to the channel. And until next time, Fool on.